How many Arnold Schwarzenegger movies can you name on one hand? Kindergarten Cop, Predator, Twins, Commando, The Terminator, Terminator 2. I mean, that's a cop-out, but yeah, it counts. I mean, then you could count like almost all the Terminators, I guess. What I'm really trying to get at is you can count a certain number of Arnold Schwarzenegger movies that you love and hold dear to your heart. For me, it's just about all of them. There are very few of them I actually don't like, and very few of them ever really get touched. Like, they're not remaking, like, no one's going out there and remaking Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, except for the few occasions where they're not just, sequels or just random action films that were made with scripts from written by people that just had these really awesome ideas for a lot of gun-toting violence and explosions and shit like that. So then you have movies like Total Recall, which got a reboot a few years ago, and a lot of people were kind of mixed about that. And the premise of it was just the idea of going more based on the actual novel that film is meant to be based on. Because one of the biggest issues is that you took something that had an original concept and then you reformatted it because you got Arnold Schwarzenegger involved in it. Which, for better or worse, made two completely separate movies, but also not too bad when it comes to movies either. And now we're finally getting another version of that, which is The Running Man. And for those who aren't aware, The Running Man is based on a novel that was written by Richard Bachman when he was the pseudonym of Stephen King. So it's technically written by Stephen King. I'm pretty sure Running Man is a Bachman novel. Either way, the premise of it when it was created for the Arnold Schwarzenegger film is a little different. The Arnold Schwarzenegger film made it a competition. It made it still to stick to the roots of the idea of the live performance of, death and the competition of broadcasting, people trying to survive, very Hunger Games, very Battle Royale, very The Condemned. That's not an original idea. But the problem was, if you read the novel, it's not really what happens. It's a little of what happens, but it's actually a little bit deeper, and it actually is a little bit darker. So they kind of made it, I guess, more movie-friendly. It's not really kid-friendly. It's still an Arnold Schwarzenegger action film at the end of the day. But, the premise of the novel is more so focused on the one man, sort of how the Running Man is, but he's not with like a group of people. It's him kind of by himself. And he's down on his luck, and he's broke, and he's got to join the show, the competition that's broadcasted live on TV, where if he survives after 24 hours, he wins like a whole boatload of money. And he does that because his wife is also sick, and he's got to do something for his family because his daughter had died the year prior, and they're just down in their luck, so he's got to do something. He's got to do right by his family. So it's only focused on him, and there aren't really those really extravagant characters involved in the novel. It's more so his interaction with people as they kind of, because he's being chased by people who work for the TV station. And there's people that are sort of like just involved in everyday life that interact with him on different levels. People that try to expose him and then people that try to help him. And so it leads to this huge crescendo of an ending that isn't like the movie at all, because obviously the movie is vastly different. They kind of just took a very basic premise of the concept and ran with it in a completely different direction. It's actually very grim, and the novel is very old, so I'm not 100% worried really about it right now. But he finds his way onto an airplane that is run by the company. The guy who runs the competition, the live televised show, let's say like the Regis Philbin of this universe, he basically says like, yeah, your wife died, so it really doesn't matter whether you win or lose or what you do to us. Because what they don't want is they don't want him to win. The whole point is that he doesn't win, so it doesn't kill hope in a way. Now, it's been a long time since I read that novel, and I said this about The Long Walk, because I read these novels many years ago, and I should return to them before these films come out, so I really have a steady basis of it. But essentially, how the novel ends, and again, I don't mind sort of spoiling it. You know what? Maybe I won't spoil it. essentially he gets the upper hand on the TV production studio and the Regis Philbin, you could say, and he sort of gets his win. I'll leave it at that. Let's just say I'll leave it at that. I won't really 100% spoil it. What I will say is you should 100% read this novel or listen to the audiobook, however you want to do it, before this movie comes out. My hope is that even with like the changes that they've made to The Long Walk, which are kind of obvious, they're probably going to make changes to this film too. But I hope that it still sticks in a direction that stays as true to the novel as possible, because there is still something with that novel and how the story is received in the way it tells it that can translate very well to the screen, which is why it still sort of baffled me after I read it, many years after I saw the movie. Like, when I saw the movie, I didn't even know it was a book. And then when I discovered it was a book, I was like, okay, one day I'll read it. And then I finally sat down and I read it, and it's tremendous. It's a fantastic book, and it just really shows you where Stephen King's brain was in his younger years. He was just pumping out these stories that were just dreadful but impactful. You know what I'm saying? So I hope this is more in line with the novel, and I haven't seen it yet. It came out, I'm recording this after 9 o'clock on July 1st. This came out about 12 hours ago. It's got over 5 million views, and I 100% believe that, because this is going to be, if they do it right, it's going to be a huge film, because it's going to really blow people's minds what the actual story was. And I know it's probably not going to be 100% what the novel is, but if they get it even a little bit close, I think it's going to be a fantastic film.
Stop filming me!
Ben Richards, 35, married, one child, in medical crisis.
Yeah.
We need money for a doctor now.
Ben, watch us up.
Oh.
Employment status, blacklisted. But there's still a way out for you. It's the biggest show in the country.
Bloodlust is our birthright! Set it free! Welcome to the Running Man!
People on these games never come back.
I'm not trying to get myself killed, so kiss my ass twice.
Right there is why you can win this game. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days with the entire nation hunting you down.
I was 100% wrong. I don't remember it being 30 days. I thought it was like a full day, but 30 days also makes sense to me, which is another thing they changed in the Arnold Schwarzenegger film, because I believe that's just meant to be that night or maybe like 3 days. And I don't know where I got 24 hours from, but I guess it's just how you feel when you're reading that book, is that you don't want to put it down so it feels like all one day. But I guess, yeah, 30 days does ring a bell to me. Unless that's something else that they changed. I already see a little more lightheartedness than what I got from the novel. But then again, that also could just be how they make it where... Like, again, I thought the daughter was already dead. I do remember the whole idea of the sickness. I vividly remember the description of the line of sick people that go around the block, because there's, like, a pandemic that's just forever ongoing. Like, think of COVID, but it never ends. And sort of... these, not government entities, but these like city regulators and this form of government that's kind of backed a little bit by the television company, they sort of control the fact that people are getting sick, and they do it for a very specific reason. I'm pretty certain that was one of the things that he discovers at some point, or at least somebody like that he meets kind of throws that theory at him in some way, because it's all told, if I remember correctly, it's told from a third person from his perspective. No, it's told from a first person from his perspective. Oh no, it might actually be third person. I gotta read the book again to really understand what I'm talking about, I guess.
Your family had a slum side for good.
I'm gonna come back here and burn this building down. I promise.
That's the spirit.
This is America, goddammit! And we don't put up with no bullshit! Yes! Hunt him down!
ever wondered if this game is rigged?
Guess we'll find out.
See what I mean?
You might be moving up too fast. Hey, buddy. You're on Freebie. You better run!
I got a grenade!
Back at you.
I'm still here, you shit eaters.
Hey, big boys!
Are you crazy?
Stop filming me!
I accidentally restarted it. Whew. Whew. That looks really good. They're still doing a little bit more lighthearted. And again, from what I recall of the novel, it's very much more grim than the sort of upbeatness this sort of has, but I guess they're still trying to play it off more of the action angle. Then again, it could just be my interpretation of the novel, because how I always felt that story was told, it was really told with a lot more of a dark undertone. It was told in sort of how you're always cheering for the good guy, but he's always getting caught up, and eventually it leads to what the inevitable end would possibly be. And this doesn't feel like it's going to go that route, and I guess that's okay, because it still looks like it's as close to the novel that I think they probably want it to go. Because there's a lot in there that I do remember from the novel that I did catch. I don't remember a masked dude. Like I said, I don't even remember them being like legitimate hunters. The hunters are just kind of like normal soldiers and people that worked at the television studio. I do remember from the novel that there was this big emphasis on everything around the TV tower sort of is slums. And then here you have this big, beautiful tower. It's almost like Hunger Games. Like you have these nonchalant, nobody cares about rundown districts, and then here you go, District 1, and everything's beautiful and shiny and clean, and it's the same thing. That's what they all focus on at these sort of survivor-typed, poor or prisoner-like stories where it's a whole bunch of people or one person or a group of people trying to survive until there's only one left or for a certain amount of time. And you can kind of see a pattern in a lot of Stephen King's earlier work that kind of showed that. But again, I just felt like there was a little bit more grimness in the novel than what they're portraying in the trailer so far. But the trailer still looks good. Like, this looks pretty top-notch. And I'm not going to lie, a lot of this action looks really good. I'm loving the fact that it's got such a wide range. Hold on a second. I just want to see. I got to wait till November, too. That kind of sucks. I want to see this cast. So what do we got? We got Glenn Powell, who's everywhere right now, it feels like. Josh Brolin, who's coming out in a bunch of films this year. Coleman Domingo. Lee Pace is a hunter. Jamie Lawson is Ben's wife. Michael Cera coming out of nowhere. Amelia Jones, she looks familiar. William H. Macy coming out of nowhere. David Saris, Kate O'Brien, Daniel Ezra. What the hell? It doesn't even say what he is, but Sean Haynes is apparently in this. And I mean, you can't go wrong with Edgar Wright either. Like, Edgar Wright is a solid director to get the ball rolling on this and to hopefully do it justice. So, yeah, that's exciting. That's very exciting for me. It just sucks. Like, fucking November, dude. Like, Jesus. Like, why can't they just give us some summer hits? Like, why is everything all coming out in the winter, it feels like? Almost every movie I'm looking forward to is either August. It's between August and November is all the films I'm looking forward to. And this is just another one of them. And I wonder if they're going to do the ending. If you made it this far, you are awesome. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it and let YouTube know I'm doing a good job. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and check out the other videos in the studio. All of this helps support me and the channel, so it is very appreciated. Whether you're new or returning, thanks for watching. Cheers.